last 7 minutes?
Nah, probably.
How are you?
It depends on the time of the day and the day at the moment.
Same.
Please, I always feel rude when I say this, but please always ensure your camera's close. So.
It's really close.
Okay,
really,
good.
Really
I can really hear you. Awesome. So, you know how I told you 2 weeks ago that Merv had been flown to Brisbane on the Monday, and it was only the Wednesday that I saw you.
Yeah.
Well, it turns out that second surgery that he had went a lot better than what anyone realised. And they had said that the surgery was to take place and then the continued healing, and there would be a dressing review on the following Thursday. And they'd planned to have this surgery on the Friday for the skin grafts. Well, it turns out when they checked the dressing, Merv had no idea until it actually happened, but they were able to stitch the hole. So the healing backpacks and whatnot, so he's home now. They've discharged him on Thursday. So it's Tuesday today, so Thursday just been. Is that right, Merv? Yep.
Welcome home, Merv.
Thank you.
So they put him on a flight up to Gladstone, and I picked him up just after 9 p.m.
Great.
Yeah, great, but I'm
Great, period.
Yes, great. I'm absolutely happy that Merv is home. I am, right?
Yes.
I had paid, I'd listened to you when you said, I can't blame myself on everything. I'm entitled to relax and rest and recuperate and all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't always work in my head though, right? So I had wanted to just get certain stuff done in the house that was noticeable for when Merv arrived home, so that I didn't look like, and when I say look like, because I feel like a lazy, good for nothing, worthless piece of crap, which is about where my mood has been. And I have actively been trying to flip it, see shit from the good side. When Merv rang me to say that he was coming home, I made it through a video call with him for maybe 5 minutes. And once I hung the phone up, I bawled my eyes out. Literally bawled my eyes out, feeling worthless and useless and so unbelievably angry at myself and disappointed in myself, because he was gone for 2 weeks, and in the end everything I tried to do, like the shower doors in this bathroom are driving me insane. I swear I've tried every single freaking thing there is in the world, and now they look worse. But there are multiple things in the house that have to be done, like our spare room is still boxes, and there's things that need to be moved, and it's just, I don't remember the last time I worked and cleaned as fast as I did, because I was so disappointed in myself, and I knew Merv didn't care, because, he had told me that, he's not that kind of person. It's me that has the problem. It's just that I feel like I have spent years and years and years in therapy trying to see the good in me, trying to understand and appreciate that, sure, I don't think I've met a person yet who doesn't see me as very different to the majority because of the way that I view the world and how I am, right? But when I moved here, I fell in love with this place. It was a small knit community. People knew each other. I felt welcomed and included, and I felt accepted for the first time in my whole life. Now, I desperately want to move far away. I don't want to be here. So Dollar Man, Merv's friend with the shop, yes, the one who has decided that I'm this bad person that no one can be around, is long and short of it, from what I know, shutting up shop, blah blah blah. There's his own reasons, but it's very evident every time I talk to someone who knows him regularly when he's been talking badly behind my back, because it's instant. Anyone could see the shift in the face, the eyes, the not like the body language, and it is happening to a point where I am not even losing my mind. I feel like it's gone, right? I don't want to, like, I try to keep picking myself up and being like, I'm going to manage, but one after another shit happens. Like, I was walking with the neighbor. One lot of neighbors moved. The neighbor down the street, we started walking together, and we were walking at 5 a.m. and it was amazing, and I had the wrong shoes for the first couple of times, so I needed to get new ones and see a podiatrist and blah 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 with blisters. And anyway, I'd messaged her a couple of times and I'd got nothing back, and I really should learn better, but I thought I'll put one more out there. And I was like, I finally got my shoes, the blisters are all gone, I'm really excited to start walking again, you know, let me know, right? And the response I got, and it's a hard one, because I think ghosting a person is one of the most cruelest things a person can do to anyone ever. To not give closure is gut-wrenching in my mind. But this lady had ignored me for so long, but she finally, days later, sent me a message telling me in no certain uncertain terms that she wasn't interested. She has no energy or time for me, and nothing will come of it. She doesn't even want to walk with me. And it's hard to explain how that makes me feel, because at one point it's like, what the fuck did I expect? Yeah, honestly, what did I expect?
Well, what did you expect?
I thought we were becoming friends. She's been to our house. I've been to hers. I've met her. We were walking. It's not like I was asking to have a fucking someone to go non-stop everywhere with me. Me and Merv do stuff together. All I was looking for was to be able to start walking again in the morning. And it turns out that I'm not even fucking worthy enough for that. Like, I am so unworthy that she made sure that I knew in black and white in a text message that she has no interest in getting to know me. And I kept saying to Merv,
Was there anything like,
nothing happened.
reasons given for that?
She's going through a separation. Well, she was. I've seen the dude's car there a few times.
Okay.
But there is nothing that could have happened between me and her that would make, like I said, I want to get up and go walking. I actually bought a pair of fucking prescription shoes. They are so ugly and so expensive, but I did it.
How many people live in this town?
Oh, you sound like I don't fucking know. How many thousand are we reckon? 5,000?
6.5 on Boyne, and
It's not big.
Hmm?
I'm saying to Nicole, it's like maybe 6,000.
Okay.
And people know people. And this
Sure they do.
dollar man knows.
You're gonna know people, and Dollar Man doesn't matter.
Guess
If
what?
people are gonna be sheep and follow the direction that somebody, if I said to you, you know what, I know this person, she's bitch, and then you meet her, and you know you chat in the supermarket one day, and she's like really nice, and you don't know their name until then. Whoa.
But that's not what's. It's
And
not.
you find, but at the end of the day, like, you have to make your own decisions about people and places. And if you want to go walking, go walking. Just don't
I'm
go walking
going
with her,
to, but
because
it's not the
Gold's
point.
not saying I don't want to go walking with you. She's saying I don't want to go walking.
No, she's saying I don't want to be around you. She will be out there. If I start walking at 5 a.m., she'll still be there. And I feel so shit. It's like I have to cross to the other side of the fucking road. So, no. And it's like I feel like nobody is even a little bit understanding my point of view, because I said this to someone else yesterday and they're like, so ignore them. And I'm like, sure, when one person rejects you, I can deal with that. When two people reject me, I'm rising above that. When it gets to the third, the fourth, the fifth, and I am getting looked at because I know shit is being said about me, because so many things have changed. Merv isn't working in the shop anymore. The guy went off and got his full-time job and now is shutting the shop down. And it's like people who I am associated with, people who I do look to as someone I want to be friends with, I thought that I was becoming friends with, everybody has pulled back. They've all rejected. I feel like I'm fucking dismissed from everyone at this point. And I'm aware, because I had someone say to me, you know, what if you just move to another town and the same thing happens? Well, I guess I'll dig my fucking grave, yeah? Because I'm the fucking problem.
I disagree totally, but...
You're the therapist.
Well, also...
Therapate me, come on.
Well, I've known you a long time, and I think that that there's truth to it in that. No matter where you go, there will be some people who reject you no matter what. And there will be some people who talk to other people, and those people will sheepishly follow the leader and become jerks to you as well. That's the truth.
I know that, and I'm okay with people having issues and not knowing me. It's the feeling of being in a town that is this. The whole reason I fell in love with this place was because of how close-knit it was because of the fact that I met so many people who I genuinely, to God, believed accepted me. And it was all fake.
Yeah. But that doesn't mean that there aren't really great people who will accept you in this. 5,000 people is a lot of people.
Well, I need to figure out how to get out of how I feel to get back there, because I feel like each day I try and then something happens and it's like I'm the most fragile I've been. I am brought to tears like you.
And that's terrible to hear, that somebody else can have such an effect of you, because other people's opinion of you doesn't change who you are. You know, who you are is consistent, and you have, like, other people's opinion of you, it's like their favorite color. I don't care.
Okay, then. The only person that truly accepts me for all of me and the mess that I am is Merv, then. Yeah?
Well, and hopefully yourself. But
No, I'm angry as fuck. Can't you tell?
Struggling to accept yourself as well.
My suicide ideation is back. Yeah? I have self-harm since I've moved to Queensland. All right? I have had to call the psychiatrist and get an emergency appointment and say increase my ADHD medication to the highest that you can, and I need to discuss upping my antidepressants, because honest to God, I feel like all I have done since I landed up here is make one fucking mistake after another, in the sense that all I actually did was go above and beyond for everyone. And my fucking current landlord, like, oh my God, the house changes fucking names on Friday. It's settlement on Friday, right? They have someone coming tomorrow to do the final inspection. Merv and I aren't going to be here. We got a train to and from Brisbane. We're staying in Brisbane tomorrow night for his follow-up appointment.
Yes.
I have been asking for the permission to go and meet the dog that I want to meet for so long. He finally told Merv on the phone while Merv was in Brisbane that all he cares about is nothing going wrong during the settlement, like the final inspection. And Merv and I have tried to explain it to as often as possibly can. I just need the paperwork stating it's okay. We will meet the dog. The dog might not even be reasonable, but if it is, we won't bring the dog back until it's all crossed hands, and then a new agency is coming in to write the lease. If the dog's already fucking here, the dog's here. But you know what? Landlord doesn't care. Landlord just, as far as I'm concerned, is a dumb, little-minded gethead.
Very desperate one. Feels a little bit desperate from him, to buy flowers.
Desperate from me.
No, him.
He's
why
power tripping,
so
Nicole.
scared of anything going wrong? Quote, anything going wrong. Final inspection. Like, is it his first time? Like,
No, that's the thing. I think he's just terrified about it falling through and
yes.
ending up having me here, because nobody's gotten to meet me myself. These people have these judgments about me that are making me hate myself, because it's like I said, 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, I've been dealing with this for fucking nearly 40 years. And now I'm back in a place where I want to smash it.
What does Merv say about what's happening? He's
Merv?
lived in small town.
Oi, Merv,
Yo,
get up here, please.
sorry.
Oh, well, only if he's feeling.
He's doing everything. He's only got stitches in his leg. He's fine. The point... I just feel like nobody is understanding where I'm coming from.
I understand where you're coming from. I just respectfully want to disagree with you, but we're gonna get to that. Hi, Merv. Welcome.
Hi, how are you, Nicole?
I'm so glad to see you back up and about. You've given everyone a bit of a scare, I think.
Yeah, self-inflicted. I'm an idiot. I admit it.
Well, no, you're not an idiot. Accidents happen because we don't plan for them.
No, I don't. I am an idiot. I done idiotic
But
thing with a ladder.
welcome home anyway, and I'm
Yep.
glad to see you feeling well. So, hey, so Libby's not doing great.
Hmm.
There has been a huge amount of stress recently, which is going to be contributing to all of what's happening, Liv. But tell me what you think. So you can obviously hear that Liv's, I don't know if you were listening, so I'll tell you,
I was
really
listening.
struggling with this small town
Yep.
kind of rejection of her because, you know, 1, small town people don't like outsiders. And 2, breaking into cliques, even in primary school, is really hard.
Hmm.
What do you think that some of what she's saying about how people are reacting to her in small town Queensland, is that accurate? Like, are they being...
I can validate that. I can definitely validate that.
You've lived here for a long time,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Is there, like, because I'll struggle to give suggestions about it because I'm a all the way city person.
Hmm.
Because a huge part of me is like, well, if you find this place that you love, and you love this place, and you love the things about it, 1, it's not the house that you're there for. It's usually the community or the people. And now Olivia's feeling like there aren't people in community for her outside of you.
Yeah, I feel ostracized, or whatever the word is. I
Yeah.
feel literally abandoned.
Is there like, how do you turn small town mentality around? Or is it going to be persistent that she just gets rejected all the time?
Well, I'll put it this way: we're going to take on a 6-month lease. In that
Yeah.
6 months, we're going to be looking for somewhere else to live.
Oh, you're going to think about going too.
I'm not
Well,
thinking about.
We're always going to live together, yeah.
Oh, well, Olivia, he's a cutie pie.
I know.
Yeah, but I don't want you to leave a place that you love. But what does it mean to love a place? You know, do you have like the best view in the world? Do you have the best Thai food place in the world?
No.
Like, what is it about this town, Olivia, that is the thing that you love? Like,
The
what is it?
people. I fell in love with the people.
And you, apart from Merv,
I met so many people, Nicole. When I first moved in with Merv, I remember saying on so many occasions, I've met all these people, I'm making all these friends, we were going to have a housewarming party,
and then the friends started to withdraw, like small town mentality. I don't like outsiders. See you later. Now, let me just ask a quick question to you, Merv. Are you getting rejected by people now too?
Everybody
Attitudes
loves
have
Merv.
changed.
Sorry?
Attitudes have changed, and more from my perspective than theirs, I think. But
Okay.
because of what they're doing, what's being said, what's happening, yeah, I'm not comfortable here anymore.
Okay. And I think I'm going to be really transparent, you know, with you, Merv. When Olivia first told me about a lot of the things that you would do to help people, bless your little kind soul, okay?
Yep.
But sometimes that leads us to being open to vulnerabilities and being taken advantage of. And one of the challenges when new people outsiders come along, Olivia, is then, you hold up the mirror and you say, well, that's not really quite right. And then things start to change. And then people try to push you away so they can continue engaging in problematic behavior.
Yeah, that's the biggest issue I have, is I say it as I see it, and I'm not ever...
So is the community, are these people, both like Merv, love you to bits, right? Too nice for your own good. But Olivia, do you honestly think that these people that you met at the beginning, who you thought were super nice, because Merv largely told you they were super nice, but do they have the values that you would want in a friendship? Because if you feel like people are taking advantage of Merv, or taking advantage of you, or being manipulative or inconsistent, or because your values for friendship, we've talked about for years, it's
they're very
loyalty,
high.
reliability. Do what you're gonna say, be who you are, and don't bullshit about it. Even if you don't like it, you respect them more for it.
Yeah.
That's who you are as a person. So are these people contain the values of people that you would want in your life? Now, there's 5,000 people in this town, and I'll tell you what, making friends is hard. Consider what it's like in Melbourne. There's 5 million people, or I don't know how many, in this town.
The problem has never been making friends.
But it is.
It's
In this
keeping
instance,
friends.
it is, because it's about who the friend is. And I feel like in a small town, you feel sometimes like you have to befriend these people because they're the people in this proximity. But you only befriend people who have the correct values. And in a town of 5,000 people, you've at least got one. But that's one in 5,000 people in Melbourne as well, in 50,000, in 500,000. How many people in Melbourne have the same values as you? Like, there wouldn't be tens and tens of thousands of people you could befriend. There would be few friends that you held really close, right? You have to choose friendships based on who you are as a person and who they are as a person.
It's not even the point of choosing friendships or having friends at this point. It's like there's a fucking black cloud surrounding everything to me up here. My depression has skyrocketed. My suicide ideation is back. It went away and now it's back.
But that's probably back because of a series of events. 1, the consistent rejection from these people. 2, not having the social supports and structures that we know assists with your mental health. Then there's been the added stress with, not your fault, Merv's accident, being all that pressure, all this urgency, all these things. And I know it happened before that, Olivia. I know that. But these are things which, it's a weight, it's cumulative, and it's if you're carrying a backpack, it's pound after pound after pound of sand that's going in your backpack, and you can't carry it anymore, and it starts to really goddamn well hurt.
And they won't let me go and see my dog. I just don't understand why he's so fucking cruel.
Because he has his own agenda. So where is the dog based?
Gladstone. It's been in foster. It's more the point, Nicole, that it's like I feel like I have to accept that for whatever reason I can't understand, that I'm just not going to be allowed a dog anymore. And I mean no disrespect to Merv, because Merv is fantastic, but he has Jackson, and I need me. I need my own best friend.
I agree you need to consider another dog. I get that entirely. And I think that you can. I think that the foster dog is A-okay. And I would love you to maybe go and visit, but don't bring them home.
Yeah, the problem is that we can't visit unless we've got authorization to keep the dog on the property.
I've already been approved. I've been approved for everything.
Yeah, but can you visit the dog in
No.
Fosterland?
No, until they've got that bit of paper that says we are allowed to have the dog here on the property from the landlord, they won't even let you visit. Not at all.
That's good. Okay, well, there's some systemic problems, but okay.
Honestly, I'm just praying. Like, I'm so confused now. It's like, do I do the official application the second we get the lease for the new company, or do I just let it go? Because I just feel like the universe and someone or something has put a stop to it every single fucking time. And now I'm just saying that all I hear in my head is, I'm not good enough to be a good dog owner. I can't do this. I can't do this. Poor boss, everything.
That your landlord has his own agenda, and I
Yep,
think that
he's
the
a
foster
cruel
dog
cunt.
would not have been shown to you if the universe didn't want you to see it.
But as I've
It's
said,
been 6 months. He's still waiting for a home.
What did you say, Merv?
as I said to Liv, it may be that at the leading up to this point in time, it's not been the right time for her. It's not the end of the road. There's still opportunities. And down the track, she is going to be a dog owner again. She is going to have her best friend. And I'm absolutely convinced of that.
I am too. And you know, I'm going to say there has been some large travel and things that have been very hard recently, right, Merv?
Yeah, I'll take that one.
Which, if I'm really blunt with you, Olivia, having a puppy or a dog, whatever the size dog is, would have been hell.
It's
Hell.
obviously crossed my mind.
So it's not been the right time. Now I 100% agree that you're telling me now that you're ready. Okay, fine. And when's the inspection final thing?
Tomorrow, and then it changes names on Friday.
So tomorrow, and so he's told you I'll give you the paperwork on Thursday or whatever.
Yeah, I doubt that we're going to see it.
I doubt it too, because it's going to settle on Friday, because the final inspection actually doesn't really mean anything.
That's right.
But okay. So I'll be real with you, Olivia. You can get a dog. There's nothing that can stop. Like I assume that the tenant laws are not that different in Queensland than they are here, and I suspect that.
I just have to apply to the new landlord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it adds a week. The dog hasn't had a home for 6 months. The dog hasn't had a home for 6 months, and maybe next week it will.
Yeah, but none of you seem to be understanding that we're never going to meet this new landlord. We don't know anything about him. That's what we don't understand about the current one.
All we're dealing with is an agent, not the actual owner.
I know. Who's not going to really care if you have a dog, honestly.
Yeah.
Because you can't discriminate against people with pets. Like, people can have pets.
We've already got a dog on the property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't really see the issue. But from any of the perspectives, if I'm totally honest with you. But okay, so the agent will request the new landlord do that. I mean, as a standard human being, if I don't have an investment property, but if I did, if somebody said to me, "Can we have a dog? I need a form," I'd be like, "Sure." Like,
That's
you
what
have a
we
dog.
thought it'd be like.
My first response would actually be, "Don't they already have a dog?"
Yeah.
And I'd be like, "What do you need the paper?"
Which is why we got so confused in the first place.
It's very odd that they want to have a piece of paper, given that you've already got a dog, which by default says that you already have a dog. So obviously you get a dog. But there's a few issues that are just like systemic bullshit problems for you, Olivia, which are escalated, I think, now, because to be honest, I think your vulnerability to emotional dysregulation is really, really high right now because of a lot of unrelated things. I think that if this was the only thing happening right now, you'd be like, well, this is annoying and shitty, but I'll deal with it. But right now, it feels like it's what's that expression with the milk?
Spilt milk. Don't cry over spilt
Straw
milk.
that breaks the camel's back. Don't cry over spilt milk. It's never about the milk. It's about all the other stuff that's happening in your life, and then you break the milk, or break the milk. Bless. Spill the milk.
Maybe I just feel like on some level that I wasn't a good enough owner to boss. Maybe I'm genuinely not
I think
meant to.
that's the issue. I think that you're still grieving for boss, and there's probably some blame there. And I'm going to be crystal clear. It's fine to have another animal in your life, and you will probably grieve for boss for forever, it doesn't mean you won't love and support another animal. And it doesn't mean that you didn't, like, because we will blame ourselves because, boss, it wasn't an easy passing for him. And I think you'll blame yourself, but you could not have stopped it. People blame themselves for all kinds of things that we have no control over. And it's easier to blame us and try to feel a sense of control than to know that all the things that we love can be taken away from us in the blink of an eye for no reason.
I just feel flat and
What if
sad and broken.
What if somebody has a stroke and then you say, well, I shouldn't have given him a hamburger last week? Well, you can't control those things. Like, it's probably not, like, it's nothing that you can do that can, but it makes us feel better. Like, I'll control, because it makes us feel less vulnerable.
I'm the last person who would say I'm about control.
Yes, but you do like to have, you're not about control. It's not what I mean. You like to plan for things, and you are quite aware as a dog owner. Like, you're an exceptional dog mom because you've gone through all of the education, all of the training stuff. You know what they need, what they don't need, what they can, what they can't. You do this after that vaccine, you do that kind of training, you do this, you do that, you do this, you do that. And that's I think you blame yourself because you weren't there. And the thing is, I told you, when I was away in Europe, my mom had a fall down the stairs. And you think that, what if I was there? She's all right. But what if I was there? I could have stopped it. People get so scared. Well, what if I was in the other room? It wouldn't have stopped her from falling down the stairs. We blame ourselves because what if I was there? Well, what if you were? Nothing would change.
I think the way it happened was Boss had to happen that way. He was still alive when I got to say goodbye, so...
Yeah. I agree. And I think you need to forgive yourself for having a life and not being there the whole time with Boss, and yes, getting there at the end and loving him as much as you did. And I think you need to let yourself love again.
I don't think any of you are listening to me. I've already fallen in love with a dog.
I
want to meet this dog.
I know. And now we have to let ourselves wait for the exact right time. And right now you're banging your head against a wall and it's not necessary. It's happening, Olivia. It's just not happening tomorrow. It's happening in the next few weeks. They know that, you know it, the dog knows it, the landlord now knows it, and the landlord soon to be will know it. He or she doesn't know it yet, probably.
Any advice on, I'm just so easily irritated. Like, the landlord had to come and make sure he had the right keys yesterday because we're not going to be here for the inspection thing. And as soon as he rung and Merv told me, I picked up everything I had lying on the couch and went to my room, made sure my curtains were pulled, and just stayed there. And Merv obviously clarified because he had said that he'd call the lawyer about the whole paperwork. And I was so angry. So fucking angry that I came out to the kitchen and did like 4 tequila shots, one after another. Just...
Angry about what?
How fucking stupid I think he is. How he has judged me before he even met me. He knows nothing about me. And I truly to God just feel like I've lived in homes for over a decade where none of this shit happens. I have been free. I do not feel free. I feel like I am stuck in a box with people telling me what the fuck it is I can and cannot do goddamn all the fucking time. And I'm angry. I'm just angry in general. I am irritated and angry and sad and just fucking want to smash shit. fucking psychiatrist has upped my Xanax to 2 at a time, which is fantastic. Smoke some fucking weed and just take Xanax. Because nothing is helping me. And this isn't on you. You know I think you're fantastic. But this is only making me feel worse. I cannot make it go away.
No, you can't.
I have fucked up my entire life. My emotional dysregulation rules me and I cannot stand it, but I worked so fucking hard and I did so much good.
So then, has your quote whole life been ruled by your emotional dysregulation? No?
Of course it has. You know that. That's why you're my therapist. I don't know how to emotionally regulate.
Well, a lot of the time you do regulate very well. There are some times that your emotional regulation isn't as great as it could be, but Olivia, that's normal. No one's emotionally regulated all the time. I think Merv might.
I'm not even a little bit like a normal neurotypical person, Nicole, okay? You know that. He knows that.
I do.
I'm failing. I can't even keep my emotions in control.
Why is having big emotional reactions not, why is that considered a failure?
Because all I do is fail.
No, you don't, Doug. No, you don't.
I'm in so much pain. I was so happy when I moved here. I just genuinely thought that I'd found a place who accepted me for me. And I know that every single person on the planet is different, I know, but people have made it quite clear that my level of different is different to the majority. I don't know how to see the world the way the rest of you do. I don't know how.
I don't think anybody wants you to.
But I'm constantly alone. The only person, if it wasn't for Merv, I would have gone. I wouldn't be here. I would be who the fuck knows where, but I'm just.
I think that part of the problem with what you're saying to me is that in this small town world, there isn't an understanding and an acceptance of different. And different is what makes our society great.
I love who I am. I don't understand why nobody else seems to.
I think that's a pretty big blanket judgment. And I appreciate that that's what it feels like based on everything, quote, that's been happening around you in Queensland. But, Olivia, you have found some pretty wonderful people in your life. And you have to realize that who you are is who you are. And you don't have to change it. Neurodivergent, neurotypical, whatever, I want you to be you.
I want to be me too.
I don't want you to bend your values for other people, ever. If people around you are all lying about the sky is falling, and it's not, like you have to be secure in who you are and your belief system. Don't change it.
And I thought I was doing so well. I really was. I was.
So well. I'm going to say it. You moved to Queensland and all of the professionals in your world just held their breath for a second, okay? Then you faced all that chaos. Remember the rat pee photos? Like you dealt with dangerous, awful, chaotic, terrible situation, and then you advocated for yourself. You implemented boundaries. You made a positive self-choice, and you left. And you started again, and you established a different life. And you came up here, and you met Merv, and things were really good. Not just because you, Merv, sorry, but I mean also Merv. And you have been vulnerable and tried to make friends with people. And some people going through their own shit, fine. But And fair enough. But 5,000 people in this town didn't come over and say that you're an asshole. Like, it didn't. And it feels like it, but that's probably not what's really going on in the town. And there is a level of rejection, and there is an element of discomfort with where you're at, because, Olivia, you do bring with you a very different perspective to life. You bring a neurodivergent perspective, and you're moving in with Merv, and they probably think, oh, what's happening? I can't imagine that nobody's asked questions.
Nicole, everybody thinks that we're in a relationship, and it's doing my fucking head, and it makes me feel ill when every time someone thinks that we're romantically together. He's older than my fucking parents, and I am sick to the back fucking teeth of people up here.
But are they not asking? Of course they are, because they're backwards. Like, they can't see that friendship can happen between a man and a woman sometimes.
That's not even the man or the woman. He is 34 years older than me. He was 34 when I was born.
Unless he's comfortable with that.
He's heard every single thing I say to you. He's heard first. Believe you me.
I know, and I think that people are gonna struggle with the dynamic if they don't know you, and they're not willing to know you. But that's a them value issue, not a you value issue. You're willing. You've been vulnerable. You've been trying. So I'm going to call you on that you're not doing well, and I'm actually going to counter back and say, well, bloody well you are. Because then your dog dies. Your best friend ends up being flown to, I don't even know. There's hospitals involved and crazy surgeries and skin grafts, and it's been like intense, Olivia. Give yourself some credit.
I'm trying.
Because it's not that you're failing. It's, I can't believe you're doing so well, Olivia.
She's done awesome.
Thank you, Merv. We're on the same team. High five.
Thank you.
So at the end of the day, external validation, me and Merv, saying you're doing great, I need you to know that.
I do. Until things like yesterday happen.
Yesterday is filled with a bunch of people I don't care about. I care about you. I want you to know how you feel. And other people, we're going to Teflon that crap off. When you cook an egg and your Teflon can, like, fry pan, like, gets stuffed up and then your egg sticks the whole time? Buy a new damn Teflon big, because we want that shit to slide right on off and make proper eggs.
The other problem here is that there's very few places. There's very few places for people to meet people, to interact socially, which is not helping anything.
Merv already knows everybody. Merv's loved by everybody. He was the head fucking constable for paramedic. Like, he ran the fucking ambulance place. Of course he's loved. I think that should mean that I'm a good person because he took me in, but no.
Yeah, but that relies on people making assessments of you based on who you are. And I'm going to be really honest with you right now, Olivia, at risk of getting in trouble. Right now, you're so stretched, and we need to put all of the self-care and petrol back in your own tank, because this isn't appropriately reflective of who you are. The emotional dysregulation that we're seeing right now is not really what happens. It's not really you.
You want
And
to
so
maybe
they're
correct
not
her on that?
Yeah, look, anything and everything is a trigger for her right at this point in time.
Exactly. And so people aren't going to get to see you until things are vastly different.
But I feel for him because he cops it.
Yeah, but you know what? Merv has to deal with Merv himself. And Merv needs to deal with Merv's feelings, and Merv needs to...
Oh, he's a pro. He's a pro. I got up irritated this morning. I was dreaming, and in my dreams, Boss was alive, and then he went missing, and I was trying to find him, and I couldn't get up, and when I got up, I felt so bad, and then nothing was working, and he's the first one that comes in, and I'm saying to him, I'm sorry, I don't want to be like this, and I'm so sorry, but it
No,
happens anyway.
I need you to stop kicking yourself in it and hurting yourself for having very appropriate reactions to what you're going through right now. It's just not fair. You need to give yourself a break, but right now you're you've got a big bruise and you're poking it, and you're like, it hurts, and I'm like, yeah, stop poking it.
We're literally taking the train to Brisbane tomorrow. There's a hotel booked, and the appointment's not in.
Little respite. That's called respite.
We're having a breakaway for 24 hours, basically.
That's a very fast break.
Yeah.
That's
You know
all.
how close you guys are to like Indonesia and Fiji and stuff up there?
Yeah.
Just quickly, I wrote a letter that I haven't sent. It's got every single medication that I take listed, and I told my psychiatrist, and I've said to him that I'm going to send it to him and Elaine, but I'm going to CC you into it so that you're aware of what's going on, okay? Because maybe it is all of this stuff making me feel like this, but the amount of
Maybe a review wouldn't be so bad.
I need a medication review, yeah.
I suggested that and strongly recommend that she does have a full medication review by everybody.
Exactly.
Let's look at the things that you are doing, Olivia, because right now the whole appointment has been about all the things that you feel like you're not doing, which actually have nothing to do with you at all. They're about other people. And I want you to think about the things that you are doing. What's the truth? Do the check the facts. Do the what's reals, not the judgments, not the assumptions, not the expectations. What's actually real? What's actually real is one person said to you that they didn't want to go walking with you because they couldn't at the moment for whatever reason, and they're going through an awful lot of their own shit. That's real.
I think you're missing the point, though, that it wasn't just we don't want to go walking with you because they're doing their own shit. It was a very direct, I don't want to be your friend text message.
And that's fine. Don't be the friend.
I know.
And that's okay, because you got to remember, the only people that we're going to let into your life are people that have the same values, and people with the same values are very unlikely to say and do that.
Yeah,
now,
true.
I'm sorry that this town seems to be filled with people with very different value structures. Perhaps that's because of small town mentality. Perhaps it's because of that, multi-generational isolation up there. I'm not really sure, because I actually have no idea about small towns. But there's something happening there for at least some people. And it feels like if you don't fit those values, then most people leave that small town. Isn't that right? Like, how many of the people are less than 25?
Everyone I've met is above 55.
So, progressive thinking, different friendships, neurodivergence.
Yeah, I know.
There's a lot of things that are contributing here. And the dog mom, that's just you scared and grieving and trying to hold on to something that you think is going to be positive for your future. And so you're grasping at it. And it's right there, Olivia. It's okay. You don't have to grasp it. It's coming. Because if you grab it too soon, it can hurt. It's got to be right. So we're going to do a little bit of sit in it and a little bit of that kind of awareness of our emotions and holding them a little bit and being ready for the next thing, which is coming, because it's all done with this landlord on Friday. Like, it's the best thing ever because it's got to be done.
That is true.
And you can deal with a landlord. You can deal with an agent. And when you deal with agents, you have rights and you clarity, and you have systems and legislation all on your side that you didn't have before, which is great.
That is true.
It really make it a shit ton easier, probably.
That is
slower,
true.
because you have to deal with an interim person, but still okay.
Yeah, that is true. Thank you.
But it's okay, you've thought about it, you've talked about it, and you're like, let's give it 6 months, and if it doesn't change, we'll look at where else we want to go. Because I'm going to tell you something about this country. It's really big. And there are some really cool things out there and some really beautiful places with sometimes really beautiful people and sometimes not.
I know.
So, maybe next time beach, just saying.
Yeah. Oh, well, I feel better, I guess. I do. I have sat
I
with
think
my
it's
emotions
it
before.
will take time. Go back to your skills, back to skills.
Oh, I
the
do.
opposite action, sit with the distress, get the temperature thing going. Because, yes, whilst I appreciate that Xanax is prescribed, like, it's a short-term fix. Let's do the other stuff too.
Well, I sit with my emotions and do everything you just said. And then if I sit there and I do it for long enough and it doesn't work, then I take my Xanax.
Thank you. That's fine.
Yeah,
Good negotiation.
I think so.
Yeah. It's not, Xanax is not the first option for her. She really does sit and try and work through things, nut things out, and when it gets to the point where it's beyond that, then she'll go to Xanax. So it's not a dependency thing.
I know.
And
I've known her a long time. I trust her.
yeah,
She's good
yeah,
and honest about it. Which
absolutely.
This is going on the website, so, obviously. But yeah, thank you.
But no, look, she's a strong person with a strong personality. And her values are correct.
strong personalities are great, and some people will not accept that, and that's a them problem, not a you problem. If you don't moderate who you are for other people, if somebody said to you, I value honesty, but I'm going to lie to you all the time, don't be their friend.
No, I'm not, absolutely.
Yeah, and
So just choose.
Sorry, carry on.
They're there. Sorry, go.
No. I was just going to say. Oh no, I've forgotten. It's all right.
There's two kind of something. No idea.
Yeah. It's gone.
It's alright. I don't know when I get to speak to you next, so I don't know if you want to work it out and then.
Do you want me to look on my phone while I got it here? Hang on, I'm blind. I'm gonna take off this.
I guess so.
I can tell you now. When do you want to, Olivia?
Bye.